This short presentation will introduce the idea of using hybrid course design for 7-week success. Transitioning courses from a traditional semester to a 7-week term may require some creative teaching to ensure that students achieve the same learning outcomes. Something that can help achieve this is creating an environment that motivates students to do more learning engagement outside of the face-to-face class time. One way to do this is to borrow ideas from online learning and create technology-assisted learning activities for students to use when they're not in the classroom. This is sometimes known as the hybrid approach. 3 concepts: using in-class time, using your out-of-class time, and connecting the two. Let's start with using the in-class time wisely. In-class time is best used for activities that require interpersonal interchanges or to deal with situations that have high ambiguity or complexity. Some examples might be clarifying complex concepts. An example might be a group project meeting. When you first start a group project, there's high ambiguity, high complexity. This is something that's best done in the face-to-face component of a hybrid class. Once students in the group have formed and have created roles for themselves, perhaps broken the project up into parts that can be divided among the members, then students can work offline, or maybe we should say online, to achieve their group project results after having that face-to-face group meeting. You might also have an especially complex concept to deal with that's best done through a discussion in the rapid face-to-face mode that you can do in the in-class component of a hybrid class. Next, applying newly learned information or practicing new skills. When students are first learning information and first learning new skills, you want to be there to monitor their use of those skills and that application of that new information so that you can adjust it. Some ideas that you might try are guided practice or simulations and case studies. Next, group engagement. As we mentioned before, group project engagement, or things like Socratic dialogue and active learning activities, are best done in class when you're face-to-face. And then finally, monitored activities, for example, high-stakes exams. Those should definitely be done in the face-to-face portion of a hybrid class. Next, how do you use your out-of-class time wisely? Time spent outside of the class is usually best for activities that can be facilitated by the technology that's available to us in our course management system. Out-of-class time is also good for those activities that can be done alone or asynchronously, activities that require a lot of repetition for benefit, or that can really use individualized pacing. Some examples include introducing new information. A lecture can be recorded, a presentation can be recorded, much like the one you're watching now, and you can do readings with a learning check, a quiz, for example. Those are all things that can be done in the out-of-class component of a hybrid that can help students gain new information outside of the boundaries of your physical meeting. Next are things like memorization. You can set up multiple attempt quizzes that allow students to study something, take a quiz to gain a learning check, study some more, take another version of that quiz, many times as a way to get students to engage in memorization activities and learning new information over and over again outside of the boundaries of your face-to-face class meeting. Next, practicing learned or partially learned skills and concepts with repetition and pacing choices. You can set up assignments that give students the opportunity to practice something that they've learned under your tutelage, or that they have been doing some things but need more repetition, or might need individualized pacing, some students taking longer than others. Some examples are setting up an assignment or online discussions that give students these opportunities. Another good use of out-of-class time is learning how to use new discipline-specific vocabulary. This is something that takes a lot of repetition and individualized pacing, and we can use discussions in creative ways to make this happen. Key to it all is doing a good job of connecting those in-class and out-of-class times. Connecting the out-of-class and in-class activities enhance learning. And I like to recommend the Absorbed, Do, Connect learning cycle that was popularized by Horton in his book from 2011 called E-Learning by Design. Absorb, Do, Connect. Absorb is where you introduce a topic and provide information. Do is where you apply information, practice skills, you combine new information or skills with prior learning, and connecting, making links between new knowledge, skills, and the real world. Now, we'll explore these in greater detail in other presentations, but very quickly, some examples. Absorb, introducing a topic. This is something that can be done through a recorded lecture, through readings, and knowledge checks, little quizzes, for example, all done online. Doing, applying information or practicing skills. The first time you have students apply information or practice skills, you might want to do that face-to-face. But then once they have partially gained the skills, partially gained the knowledge, then you can move their engagement offline, or I would say online, to work with these new ideas and work with the information and to practice the skills where they have some pacing choices in that online component of a hybrid class. And then finally, the connect, making links between new knowledge and skills and the real world. This might be done in the face-to-face component through a discussion. However, you could also do that discussion online. Another thing you might do is you as the instructor might help make the link by telling stories from your personal experience. Again, that could be done online or in the face-to-face component of your class. Finally, you might have students do some investigation about how what they're learning in your class is used in the job market, in the research field, or so on in your discipline. Again, both of those kinds of activities could take place both online or offline. Establishing a mix between the two can help increase student engagement in the learning in your class. As always, if you have any questions about this, you want to learn more about this and need some help making this happen, I'm always happy to meet with you.